Lots of kids these days start taking substances, tobacco, alcohol, chemicals, thinking that it's a cool thing to do. For some, it's curiosity that drives it. For some, they want to have a good time, go partying with friends and use some of these substances, maybe go to a rave party or something. For others, it's to deal with their tensions, frustrations, and the fact that they can't get the things that they want.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಕದಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಡವೆಗಳನ್ನು, ಬೆಳ್ಳಿ ಬಂಗಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕದ್ದು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಡವಿಗಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಚಿನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಅಡವಿಗಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದುಡ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ಡ್ರಗ್ಸನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
People to use drugs. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's this great urge to have a high, not knowing that there's a great low after the high. For some others, they believe that it's a good stress buster and they use it innocuously. But what happens is that after some time, the drug starts to take control over their lives. When I say drug, I mean tobacco, alcohol, and the so-called illicit drugs, whether it's opioids, marijuana, cocaine, whatever it is. The point is that after some time, the body and the brain start to become tolerant to the effects of these drugs. The drugs stop producing the same effect, and therefore they've got to increase the amount of drugs to get the desired effect. There's something called the reward center in the brain where all these drugs act. They release some chemicals like dopamine, which actually gives them that buzz, but the buzz is short-lived. The ecstasy dies, the euphoria dies, the tension-relieving properties disappear, and then the person is left with that.
They cannot take decision properly because of a tensed mind. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್, ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್, ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಮೈಂಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬುದ್ಧಿ, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಈಸ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಡ್ ಟು ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್. ಟೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಯಾರಿಗಿದೆ, ಸಹಜವಾಗಿ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ಅದು ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವೀಕ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
The people who are biologically prone to develop addiction are those who have family members with an addiction to tobacco, alcohol or other drugs. We also know that some young people with certain temperaments, kids who are very impulsive, kids who can't pay attention for very long, kids who always want to hide, can also very easily turn to drugs. We also know that young people who might be anxious, find it difficult to communicate, find it difficult to maintain their self-esteem, may also turn to drugs to reduce their anxiety and lack of confidence.
ಅವ್ರ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಅವ್ರ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಲೈಫು ಅವರು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟದಾಗಿ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೇನು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯವರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೋ, ಸಂಯೋಗದಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವರು ಉಗ್ರಗಾಮಿಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡ್ರೂಸಿನೆಸ್ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೊತ್ತು ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನು ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳನ್ನ ಮರೆಮಾಚಿ ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೋ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕದ್ದು ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರ ತನ್ನ ಲೈಫನ್ನೇ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Whatever it is, the drugs have a path of their own and they soon overtake the individual. The person loses control, has to increase the amount of drugs, possibly uses a variety of different substances to maintain it, and then suffers the harm. You wouldn't know that alcohol actually produces more than 200 disease conditions. Tobacco again is associated with cancer, with cardiovascular disease, with respiratory disease. Almost every organ in the body from head to foot is affected by tobacco. A lot of young people don't know that tobacco, smoking for example, produces sexual dysfunction, makes their skin grow wrinkled and shriveled up at a very young age, in addition to causing all the other problems. A lot of people inject drugs. They don't realize that injecting drugs is associated with conditions, diseases like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, HIV, and so on. So, the important thing is to really understand that drug use for a temporary benefit comes with long-standing harm, affecting the physical well-being, the psychological well-being, the social well-being, and of course it means huge socio-economic losses to society in general.
Still, what happens, it not only destroys him, it destroys the whole family life. He will be a burden on the entire family. Not only that, he brings bad name and social stigma to the entire family and family relatives also. If a girl is addicted, almost her life gets collapsed. She can't get married, she will have that social stigma, nobody come forward, decent people won't come forward to get married with the girl. That is how chain reaction starts, and that reaction goes towards the devastation of particular girls or boys' lives and life. Normally it keeps on deteriorating. That is how it makes a huge impact on the society.
We come to the role of the family and society at large in terms of helping people with substance use disorders. One must have certain things in mind. At the social level, especially in educational institutions, workplaces, we need to have a zero tolerance about the use of substances, because as I said, it impacts on every aspect of a person's functioning. Families can play a huge role in supporting persons who have a problem with drugs. They need to understand the nature of addiction, that it's not just a loss of willpower or something willful that the person does, but it is an illness. Just like we understand heart disease or cancer, this is also a chronic relapsing condition. So families need to be supportive. They need to bring the individual for help. They need to make changes so that they reduce the psychological stress that the person is feeling, support them in their recovery, and engage and work with the person involved to make sure that they are not only drug-free, but they're also gainfully employed or going back to their education and become useful members of society.
ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯಾಮ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಡೈಲಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ವಿದೌಟ್ ಹಿಸ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಹತೋಟಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನಸ್ಸು ಹತೋಟಿ ಬರೋದು ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಆಲೋಚನೆಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲೋಚನೆಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ ಆ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಅವನ ಏನು ರೈಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಏನು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ಕೆಲಸ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಟೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಜಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ನಾನು ಆ ದಾಸ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ದುಶ್ಚಟಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಪಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇದು ಸರಿನಾ ತಪ್ಪಾ? ಹಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯಾಮ.
It's sad that we've seen several wonderful youth actually ruining their lives because of substance use. So what can we do in order to prevent these problems? The first thing is actually to be proud not to use any substances. We've got to create an environment where it's great to say, look, I don't need any drugs to prove myself. I'm cool because I don't use drugs. I don't use tobacco, I don't use alcohol, I don't use any other mind-altering substance. I need to learn to gain the confidence of being able to manage things without using any of these substances. The second thing is to really have what is called an alternate high. find ways of getting euphoric. There's music, there's hiking, there's sports, there's debating. There's so many other kinds of activity which can produce the same sense of well-being. The third thing is be assertive. When someone tells you to use a substance, whether it's a fag, whether it's alcohol, whether it's a pill, just tell them no, I don't do drugs. Look them in the face and learn to say it and be happy about saying it. Create a peer group where drugs is a no-no so that you are protected against using substances.
ಡ್ರಗ್ ಮಾರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ, ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗೊಂಡವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡ್ರಗ್ ಪೆಡ್ಲರ್ಸು ಮತ್ತು ಡ್ರಗ್ ಈ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೆ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರೋಪಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಕೋರ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಬೀತಾದರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಜೀವಾವಧಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ನೀಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಇದೆ. 5 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಜೀವಾವಧಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ. ಜೀವಾವಧಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬಹುಶಃ ಈವನ್ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಯೂ ಸಹ, ಅಂದರೆ ಮರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಬೇರೆ ಥರ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದರೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಕಠಿಣ ರೀತಿಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಇವರಿಗೆ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಗಿ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಆಯ್ತಂತಂದರೆ ಅವರು ಯಾವುದೇ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಸೇವೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಪಾಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅವರ ಮೇಲೂ ಸಹ ಕಠಿಣವಾದಂಥ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾನೂನು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಇಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅದು ಕಾನೂನಿಗೆ ವಿರೋಧವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಅವರ ಲೈಫೇ ಸಹ, ಅವರ ಜೀವನವೇ ಹಾಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಆ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ದಲೇ ಡ್ರಗ್ ಪೆಡ್ಲರ್ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ದಲೇ ಡ್ರಗ್ಗನ್ನು ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ದಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಡೀಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲೈಫನ್ನು ಲೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಆಶೆ.
Should you get into the use of any of these substances and should you find yourself unable to stop it, get help. There are several places which offer counseling as well as help for drug dependence. At nimhans, we have a center for addiction medicine where we see people, we evaluate them, we give them both medical treatment as well as counseling, both individual, family counseling, making sure that we help them to cope without drugs. We help them to their withdrawal symptoms to be treated. We make sure we counsel them to regain confidence and the ability to handle life without drugs. So just remember, drug-free is the best way to be. If you've gotten to a problem, just make sure you get help.